Okay, so this is video number 2 of the viewport assembly. In the last video, we created the viewport base and drawing. On this video, we're going to go ahead and create the acrylic plate and the acrylic plate drawing. So again, going to your Schoology page and picking on the date, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the acrylic plate and open it up. Now again, let's take a look at what we have here. Really all I see is a very simple circle that's been extruded a ½ inch, and then there's a channel in the back that is 0.2022 wide that goes all the way to the bottom. Now I know this note here throws people off. It's a sweep cut. You can do a sweep cut, but all I'm going to do in this case, since we have a flat bottom here, I'm just going to draw 2 circles that are 0.220 wide, and I'm just going to cut it down a total distance of 0.180. Then I'm going to come back, add a hole wizard here, and finish with a pattern of 24. So essentially I'm going to be able to get this done in 4 steps. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and start on the front plane to get the same view. Going into SolidWorks, I'm going to do a file new, and again we're continuing working in inch parts. I'm going to say OK, highlight my front plane, start a new sketch, draw my circle tool, and attach a circle to the origin. And I'm going to start off by making that circle a diameter of 10 inches. I am now going to go ahead and do a simple features, extrude, and I'm going to extrude this out at 0.5 inches. And hit my check mark. Now normally I'd go ahead and add my material on this, and in this case our material is acrylic. The problem with working with acrylic is it's see-through. And the issue with that is when you go to try to click on things, a lot of times it interprets it as see-through and will start clicking things in the wrong spots. So I'm going to leave it right now as a solid piece. I'm going to add my acrylic material on at the very end. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to rotate this part to the back side. Left click and do a space bar, normal 2. And I'm going to start by drawing 2 circles. One inside the other. They're going to be relatively close to each other. I'm going to draw the diameter of the inside circle to 8.225. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a distance between the inside circle and the outside circle and make that distance 0.220 and hit enter. So I have one circle on the inside at 8.225. And then the inside, all I did was click on inside circle, outside circle, and made the distance between them 0.220. And what I'm going to do from here is take this, and I'm going to go to Features, Extruded Cut, and I'm going to cut this in, not a ½ inch, but 0.180 inches, and hit enter. I'm going to hit my check mark. So now at this point, I have a little channel that goes all the way through the back. Now I know some of you that were working in class earlier were having some issues as you thought this had a hole in it. It does not. This is one solid piece of plastic. This channel here will be for our O-ring that will sit in there so that water can't get inside. Okay, so at this point I'm going to go back to my isometric view, highlight this front face. I'm going to go to my features and my hole wizard, excuse me, and do a space bar, normal 2. Now this hole that we're using is going to be a counter bore. Okay, we have 24 of them. So I'm going to go to my counter bore, which is in the first row, first box, and the inch. I'm going to go ahead and just be a binding head screw is fine, doesn't matter, just binding head is real simple. Okay, the size of this is going to be a 0.266. Now I'm going to say, in this case, go here. The 0.266, I'm just going to go ahead and do the custom sizing. So there's my 1/4 inch is the 0.266. I want the cup size here instead of 0.5625 is going to be 0.438. The depth of that cup is going to be 0.25. And it will have a through all finish. So I'm going to go down here to through all. So there are my 3 numbers in the note. 0.266, 0.438, 0.250 through all. I want to make sure in this case though I take off my near side countersink because there's no note for that. And I want to take off my far side countersink because there's no note for that. So now I'm left with just a simple counterbore hole. Go to my Positions tab. I'm going to click somewhere above the origin. I'm going to left click and hit Escape. I am then going to turn on my Circle tool, draw a circle from the center that attaches to the center of the hole. I'm going to make that for construction. I'm going to turn off the hole, or the circle. I'm going to dimension that circle at 9.25. So now my hole is sitting on the 9.25 circle. I'm going to take my Control key and take the center of the hole wizard and the origin and make that vertical. Hit your check mark. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and get my hole in there. I'm going to kind of rotate so you can see this, but I'm also going to go in and turn on the magic eye, come up here and turn on my temporary axis. Go to my feature toolbar and I'm going to go from linear pattern to circular pattern. And in this first box right here, I'm going to pick this temporary origin right in the center of the large circle. So everything's going to spin around this origin. I want equal spacing, 360 degrees, and I want 24 of these. And the feature I want to pattern, I'm just going to click anywhere inside this circle. Oops, features to pattern, pick inside the circle. It should say C-bore for 1/4 inch binding head screw. The problem is it lost my origin here, so I'm going to come back and hit that again, so now I should see my pattern. Now again, one of the things I prefer, because I hate clicking on things, a lot of times it messes up as it's done twice to me now, I prefer to do the drop-down menu and go ahead and click counterbore, and it makes it a lot easier to make or a lot less likely to make a mistake. Now I see my 24 there. I'm going to hit my check mark. And so there are my 24 counterbore holes. At this point, we're pretty much done. So I'm going to go to the magic eye and turn that back off. Come up here and turn my temporary axes off. I'm going to come over here where it says balsa and right click and edit my material. And the material for this part is going to be acrylic medium. It's a medium high impact. So if you go to your plastics, expand it, it's going to be acrylic medium high impact. Say apply and close. And what you're going to notice right away is it went see-through. That's what makes it really hard to work with when you're looking at something like this. Okay. However, at this point, we're done with this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly do a Control S for save. I'm going to save this as acrylic plate. Acrylic plate underscore my last name. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my mass properties of this. So I'm going to go evaluate, mass properties. I see it's 1.60 pounds. I'm going to go ahead and now at this point print this. Go to the printer, grab my mass properties, bring it back to my table, and go ahead and get out of your mass property page. So at this point now, we're ready to do the drawing. And the drawing is really straightforward. It's nothing more than a front view and a section view. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this red note right here. I've been asked over and over, do I have to add that? No, you do not. It was there for your benefit if you wanted to do a sweep cut. Okay, so we only have, it looks like 7 or 8 dimensions to put on here in a title. So we are going to start this on the GHSA metric. So I'm going to go, or A-inch, excuse me. So I'm going to do a file new, GHSA inch, and OK. Double click my acrylic plate and start with a front view, with a preview, hidden lines on, and this drawing says the scale is at 1 to 2. I'm going to start with a front view here in the middle to my left and hit my green check mark. I will now take under view layout the vertical section view, so section line. I will attach it to the middle right here and hit my check mark and pull it over here to the right. Now at this point I'm just going to kind of highlight this line in the middle because I don't need it. And now what I'm going to do is just simply go in here and start adding in my dimensions. So annotation, smart dimension. I'm going to click on this outside circle right here. I get diameter of 10. Click on this line that I created right here. I get 4.625. I'm just going to simply right click and say display as diameter. I'm going to come down here and turn on my hole callout. and I'm going to pick on this hole right here and pull a note down into my lower right. Going back to my Smart Dimension tool, I'll go ahead and click from this circle or line right here, excuse me, to this line right here. I get an 8.225. From this line right here to this line right here, delete. This line here to this line here, I get my 0.220. Move that a little bit. Come on, just try to line it up. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go here, and from this line here to this line here, I get my 0.180. Hit this line right here, and I get my 0.50. And at this point, I have all my dimensions for this part complete. Tighten that up a little bit there. Move this up a little bit more just towards the top, and I'm going to go ahead, and at this point all I have to do now is add this note at the bottom. So I'm going to highlight, Control Copy, go back to SOLIDWORKS, turn on my note tool, put a note right below and do a Control V. Make sure you change the font size to font size 12. Make sure the top line is bold and underlined. Change your mass right here. It's like 1.60 pounds, something of that nature, and adjust as you need to. At this point, your drawing is done. All we have to do is add in our title block. So I'm going to go here. This is page 3 of 3. Double click here. Instead of SOLIDWORKS drawing, we're going to call this acrylic plate. And again, I'm going to kind of drop this down a little bit lower. First initial, last name. Today's date, 02/20/20. Period of whatever class you're currently in, and the scale will be 1 to 2. At this point, my drawing is complete. So I want to do a quick file save. Go ahead and save it acrylic plate, underscore your last name, and hit save. At this point, go ahead, let's do a quick print. Go collect the drawing from the printer, staple your master properties to the back, and go ahead and submit this into the gray collection box. That takes care of the second part, the acrylic plate for the viewport assembly. I got one more video to show here in a moment. That will be the final assembly. Otherwise, use this video to get this part done. It should not take you very long. Good luck.